So Live Score have invited me to have an open chat with Dimitar Berbatov. I'm just excited to ask questions and get into the mind of an elite level footballer. Live Score are teaming up with Dimitar Berbatov in a call for fans to take extra time to focus on their mental health. What I thought we'd do to begin with, whilst we're chatting, was do a bit of drawing. What we're both going to draw is something that makes us happy. So I've got paper, I've also got pens, but I've also got pencils.
Pencil, probably.
At what age did you realise that you loved football?
Probably around 8, 9 years old.
8 or 9?
Yeah, that was our social media, kicking the ball and socializing with the boys. Back home, I tell the young football players who are starting, or any young kid, find what you love to do and what you want to do as soon as possible. It's gonna help you not to wander through life and thinking, what do I need to do?
Just having something on a Saturday or a Sunday to look forward to as well, a purpose almost.
Also for the love of the whole process. Wanted to be the best in my neighborhood, because that gives you that street cred. He's the boy, he's the guy who can score and who can play, and we want to play with him, to be in his team and etc., you know.
There was a guy actually who, when I was growing up, who was a bit like that. He had the street cred and he used to charge people £1 to come and play for their team. Did you ever do that?
No, never. For me, it was pure the reputation of building reputation, of being good in my neighborhood.
It was 30.75 million that Manchester United paid for you, and this was in 2008, so this is a lot of money.
Yeah, it is.
And I always wonder with footballers, there's not many walks of life where you're a human being, but you are also an asset worth millions of pounds. How do you get your head around the fact that you're a human worth millions and millions of pounds?
To be honest, I was, before it happened, because I was in the center of all this, and I'm like telling to my agent at that point, don't tell me how much they're gonna pay for me, because it's gonna put more pressure on myself to try to justify this type of money. 30 million, and now I'm like talking to myself, Berbs, they're probably expecting me to score goal in every game. They're probably expecting me to take the ball from my goal and go to the other one and score and beat everybody along the way. And you also have a burden at one point on my shoulder, and it's never a good thing. And if I were to do it again, I'll probably say to the clubs, don't say how much money you gave. Players would not admit it, but they will think about it. How do I justify this type of money?
And even if they're not thinking about it, they will be made to think about it by the media and by fans.
Yeah.
I mean, Caicedo, 115 million, he's actually been really good now for quite a while at Chelsea,
yeah.
But yet still it's always the price tag brought up in conversation, maybe to knock him down sometimes. He didn't decide that price tag, it's the football club, and he just needs to continue playing his football.
Yeah, but nobody believes that. Everybody will say, listen, you're worth 100 million. Why are you playing like this? Why are you playing bad? Or the worst case scenario is, you don't worth that much, man. Trust me, I don't care who you are and how tough you pretend to be. You don't worth this, it's always hurting. Human being, most of the times we're thinking negatively. And I used to have a trick, a rubber band around my waist, around my wrist. And then when I have a bad thought or important game and trying to think negatively, I'll go like this and release it so I can have a bit of pinching here, so that automatically will make a habit of not thinking negatively.
Ah, so like a negative association
with the pain. In a way, helped me to start not to think negatively, because I associated the pain with negativity.
Perfect.
With me back in the day was a bit different than it is now, because I was keeping it to myself. I have a bad game. I miss a chance, I don't score a goal, I didn't play, or I was left out from the squad, so I will go home and just ignore everybody. My head will go like this big at times, constantly thinking. I have someone to talk to, but I didn't want to. I am a man, I can do it by myself, so I need to deal with myself. Of course, you need to deal with yourself, but you can find good people around you that you can share that. What is the problem, and then maybe they can help you. And when time goes by, you learn stuff like this. You get a good advice sometime, or even if you don't get advice, you still have something back, and then your brain will start moving.
And people know then as well. People know the reason why you might not be in a good mood, you might be short-tempered,
Yes.
you've got something on your mind.
Especially your family, because my family was suffering because of this. Because I would go home and I'll be like in my dark mood, everything is black, and I'm like, don't talk to me, don't even look at me. I'm in my zone, in my dark zone, and I need to work it out. But maybe I missed on a good advice.
There was a real predictable unpredictability of you where I didn't know how you were going to score. So there were games where I would watch you right close to the 6-yard area. You were tight on the defender. You had the strength, especially back strength, to keep the defender away, and the timing as well of your headers in that area was just exceptional. There'd be other games though where you'd be here and I'd be thinking, when's he going to get into that box? When's he going to get there? And then you just see yourself floating sort of around this area. And then there'd be other games where you would hover back because someone like Wayne Rooney would be here and you'd let him go in and you just stay back and just stay where the space was. And I just wondered if you were to pinpoint a zone that was your favourite part of the box where you would like to score your goals.
This part of the box is where most of the goals can happen, will happen, are happening. And you're completely right. Sometimes I took my time, but because I was scanning the pitch. The crucial part is to know your teammates. If you know your winger, if you know how he plays, one touch cross, then you need to be quick in the box. If he's someone who likes to dribble, go past defenders. If you run early in the box, you're gonna lose your momentum. Take your time, find your position, see where the space is. And most of the time, that's why I was going like this, calculating where the best position is. Sometimes you need to yell at your winger. You need to yell at your midfield players. Give me the ball, give me the damn ball. Some players don't speak so much, some players speak all the time. You know, some players understand each other just by looking at themselves because you have defenders your back. You don't want them to know what you're saying. Sometimes you play with the foreigners in your team, so now you can speak your own language, so everybody else knows nothing about what you're saying to each other.
I was watching Havertz against Newcastle, and I think Havertz is a brilliant player, but I noticed that he was a bit static. There wasn't really much movement into, when the space opened up, he didn't seem to drift into that space. Is that something that separates the world class?
It's about how you see the game. Sometimes the defender will drop from his position to defend, to guard someone. Now the space is here, right? If you're clever enough and you know to attack the space and someone could give you the ball, that can be a threat. Sometimes you don't see the space. Some players don't see the space. It is what it is.
It's the certain skill sets of certain strikers.
Some players don't see. Some players see the space, but they are afraid to go into the space.
Why would you be afraid?
Because this is the moment where you know you're not playing good. And now you are hiding from the ball. And this is the worst thing you can do. I've done it. You don't feel in shape. You know the game is not going you well. You know that you're in a bad run of games, of form. You know the fans maybe is gonna boo it as well. And now you're like, better not go there. Maybe not get the ball. Someone else will get the ball.
So when you see players like Nicholas Jackson, who there was a moment where he maybe was not scoring every chance he got, you're almost not concerned for him then because you see that he's doing everything else right. It's just maybe he's not hitting the target as much as he wants, but now he's starting to do that.
When you're getting goal scoring opportunities, it means that you're looking for the ball, you're doing what you need to do, but then it comes down to ability to finish. And now the solution is to train it. Now we need to work on your scoring ability.
Is it harder to get into an opportunity to score, or is it harder to score?
You know why I like football? Because there is no right or wrong. What is easier To make a goal scoring opportunity or to score one? That's a great question. That's a great question. And honestly, I don't know how to answer that.
What's the most amount of keepy-uppies you've ever done?
If I put my mind to it, I can do a lot.
Will you not get bored though?
No, because in my mind, I'm training my touch. They can help you to master that touch of keeping the ball, let's say, under control, like in this area, close to you. So they are useful tool to have in your arsenal if you want to master aspects of your touch.
So you could just wake up in the morning, 200 keepy-ups.
Yeah,
Easy.
no problem.
If you woke up one morning and you started doing keepy-ups and it got to 10, and then the ball, you couldn't get past 10.
That will never gonna happen.
Never.
You can try different variation. You can take different balls, different size of the ball, challenge yourself. You need to practice with the purpose that you're gonna put it into the game. That's the most important.
Could you do keepy-uppies whilst making a cup of tea?
Well, I don't think anyone can do that. I have that habit. I have that habit of when I drop something from my hand to put my foot to stop it. And that got me in trouble a couple of times because I will have something heavy and then I'll put my foot to stop hitting the ground and then it's gonna hit my foot and that will be hurting. But it makes me laugh and makes me smile because
It's the footballer's instinct.
it's a football instinct.
Do you miss being a footballer?
Everybody, not everybody, probably 90% of people miss football because for me it was my profession, it was my hobby, it was my love. It pays me well, it paid me well. I was entertaining, at least I tried to entertain the people. Our profession was connected with fame, of course, which is very addictive because when you play good, when you do your profession in a good way, people would like you, people would love you.
If I entered Old Trafford just as a spectator, knowing that 14 years ago, this crowd of 75,000 had a standing ovation for me as I walked off the pitch, is...
The fame and adoration that comes with being a good football player, it's addictive. And when it finishes, it's hard to accept. I did have my time and I have done proud myself, my family, my dad, my mom, my friends, my country. At the end of the day, when you reach your personal mountaintop, be happy. Because one day you're gonna wake up and it's gonna be finished.
That's very good advice. How close are you to the end of your drawing?
No, my drawing is just basic one and I'm going back to my childhood memories where we used to play. We have a ball, you know, and we just kids playing, the sun is shining. We went there with our bikes and just having fun.
Berbatov's drawing is him playing football with his friends, being active, socialising. My happy drawing is a custard cream. Have you ever had a custard cream?
No, what is a custard cream?
It's a biscuit, it's just delicious. Thank you, LiveScore, for giving me access to one of football's most majestic stars.
LiveScore was founded in 1998. It's been a reliable football platform for fans all of my lifetime. Right now on the app, you have access to player profiles, team stats, and even Premier League video highlights. But it's LiveScore's latest initiative to help support the mental well-being of football fans that shows its importance to our football community.
You always got to get the picture, haven't you? Or else it didn't happen.